My name is Ian Karmel, which is ridiculous because I am a 6'3", 350-pound Italian Jewish man, and my name sounds like a whimsical British candy store. I should not be Ian Karmel. Ian Karmel should only be the place in Narnia where you get Turkish delight. That should be Ian Karmel. My name should be like Butch Deadlift. That should be my name. Or just quote, Herlock, unquote. That should be the whole thing. And my entire act should just be me coming up on stage and going, better put some butter on it, and then leaving. Let me give you my credits as a comic so you think I'm impressive, so you laugh at my jokes. I think the one I'm most proud of is recently, for the 3rd year in a row, I was named Nicest Young Man of the Year by Jewish Grandmothers Magazine. Very proud of that. Very nice guy. I am Italian and Jewish. I don't really relate to the Italian part of my identity though, because I feel like Italians are always proud of all the worst parts of Italy's history. Like there's so much beautiful shit that's actually happened in Italy's history, and all they ever give a fuck about is whatever happened on The Sopranos. That wasn't even real. I would just like once to see some goomba yelling at someone like, hey asshole! Yeah, you, how about you start a philosophical, cultural, and artistic movement that pulls an entire continent out of the Dark Ages and hastens in an era of enlightenment that's never before been seen on this planet? Oh, that's right, you can't do that because only Italians could do that. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. How about you go fuck yourself instead then? But you never see that. All you ever see is Italian guys who are like, I'm wearing a turtleneck and a shiny suit jacket. It's boring to me. That might be why I relate more to the Jewish part of my identity, but even that can be rough. A lot of people still hate Jews in this day and age after all the work Mel Brooks has done. I don't get it. A lot of stereotypes about my people too. A lot of stereotypes about the Jews. My 2 least favorite are that we control the media and we have small penises. But the good news is, if you think about it, they can't both be true. They can't both be true, because if everyone thought we had small dicks and we controlled the media, the first story on the news every single night would be like, is America's vagina ready for the Jewish mega penis? But you never see that news story, which means we have small penises and don't control the media, which is really the worst case scenario for the old Jews. But we'll be fine. We've been through worse. We're very adaptive people. I like to think of my body type even as an evolutionary answer to the Holocaust. I think that's what's happening here. I like to think I was put on this earth to be like, starve this, Hitler! If I would have been in a concentration camp, I would have been in that thing for like 4 years, right? Like, Nazis would have been up in the tower like, why is that one still fat? What's happening? Who has been feeding the pig jaw? I'm eating shoes, they're everywhere. I'm more of a Beastie Boys Jew than a Read the Torah Jew. That's the kind of Jew I am. To be honest with you guys, I'm an atheist. That's what I believe or don't believe, whatever. I'm not the kind of atheist, though, that needs you to be an atheist, too. That's not the kind of person I am. My general philosophy in life is if my circle of happy is complete and your circle of happy is complete and they don't Venn diagram and terrible, I think we're fine. Right? I think we're both fine. I just wonder about people who believe in God, because I know if I believed in God, I would be angry at God a lot, right? Because I love my mom more than anything, and I still get angry at my mom every now and then, like when the rent money isn't in my account on time. Like that's one scenario, hypothetical scenario where I might be angry at my mom. But I know I would be angry at God for one very specific reason, and that reason is there's a fish that lives in the Amazon River that will swim into your penis and die there. And if you believe in God, you have to believe God put that fish on earth, saw what it was doing, and was totally okay with it, right? Like he was like, yeah, that's all part of the plan. What are we doing next? What's that? Platypus? That's real too. Put it in Australia. We'll fuck with people. This is a fish that will swim
understand that some of us should probably swim into people's penises and die there, right? Okay, let's do it.
We, as humans, one of the things we're best at is making animals go extinct. We're so good at it, we need to focus our energy on this fucking fish. We need to do it. We need to get it out of here. We need to get over to where a dress made out of them, or like convince the Chinese that they make your dick hard, which technically they do. Technically, that's the thing they do. You're the first one that worked. Because this is a fish that will swim in your penis and fucking die there. I've heard women say that there's no pain on earth as profound as childbirth. I've heard that before. Well, guess what, ladies? There's a fish that will swim into your penis and die in your penis. Now, to have a baby, right? See, like, to have a baby, you have to have had sex, right? And either there was no condom or the condom broke, and I'm sorry that it broke. But to have a fish swim into your penis and die there, you just have to be in a river and at the top of God's shit list. Those are the only two qualifications. And having a baby can be awesome sometimes, right? We were all babies once. Sometimes people have a baby, and then the baby is Gene Hackman. It doesn't happen all the time. It's happened at least once. These people had a baby, and they were like, I wonder if our baby's going to be Gene Hackman. And it was Gene Hackman. It was awesome. But they never pulled a fish out of someone's penis and had that fish go on to be in Hoosiers. That's never happened. Never happened. And it's not going to get any better either. We're not going to start fixing the environment. We're not going to start trading these fish for rhinos or anything like that. Because everyone who's ever going to be green, that they convince you the traditional methods, they're out there riding gluten-free bicycles, they're on board, right? The people who are ever going to be green, they're on board. But we need to convince more people or else the planet is going to burst into flames. And I've come up with an idea on how to convince these people to be green. I think every time you go to the gas station to put gas in your car, you should have to watch Littlefoot from The Land Before Time walk slowly, sadly into your gas tank. And the more gas you get, the more beloved characters from The Land Before Time will be joining you on your journey. You fill it up, there's Ducky and Sarah and Spike, right? Poor Spike. If you have an SUV, like a Hummer, you have to watch Littlefoot's mom walk in. That's a tough one. That's tough. And then like the T-Rex who killed Littlefoot's mom. And I know what you're saying, Ian, fuck that T-Rex. But as the T-Rex is walking in, he's like,
I know you hate me, everybody's hated me, but I had to kill her. It's a circle of life. I'm going to go die alone now.
You're like, oh, I just started understanding you. Environment's all fucked. Schools are fucked up too. The public school system is fucked up, and not just the public, all schools in America, they're fucked up in this way where it's creating an entire generation of people where all the wrong people have all of the self-esteem. That's what's happening. Everyone who should be ashamed of themselves has like a light-up belt buckle with their name on it. It also points to their dick. Like those people. And everyone who should be proud of themselves is like sitting in a dark room drinking tea and crying into their Vonnegut novel. That's all that's happening in this country. It's because no one's ever wrong. No one's ever wrong in school. Kids will come back from summer vacation, they're supposed to do a book report, and they'll stand up there like, this summer I read Huckleberry Finn. Huckleberry Finn is a book about a man. I have a dog. Thank you. And they'll walk away. And the teacher has to be like, all of that is technically true. You get an A. Congratulations, Shel Silverstein. That's what they have to fucking do. But that doesn't happen in other countries. There's no Chinese grade school where that shit is happening, where they're like, what is 15 times 3? Daffodils! Exactly! Congratulations! It doesn't happen over there! It's creating dickheads, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you a real example. I had a friend send me a Facebook message, this guy I went to middle school with, and it was nice at first. It said, Ian, I see you're doing that comedy thing, it's going well. Congratulations. And I was touched, it was very nice. And then I read the rest of the message and it said, how do you get into that comedy thing? I don't know if I'd be any good at it. I just know I want to be filthy rich. This is my nicest outfit. So I sent him back a message. I said, Sean, thank you for the kind words, man. That's very nice of you. I think you'd be great at comedy. You should get into it. Here's the one thing you should know. You know top ramen, Sean? You know when you make top ramen, there's like a brick of noodles and a little spice packet, you mix those together, and that becomes top ramen? If you get into comedy, get ready for those to be 2 different meals. Good to be here in Eugene. I'm from Portland. I'm from the Northwest. I've been up here a lot recently. I like it. Portland is the only place I've ever lived, other than 1 year where I lived in Los Angeles, California. You were all correct to do that town. Good job. Good job. I went down there to make it, right? And I did make it, but what it turned out to be was minimum wage at a P.F. Chang's. That's what happened down there. I just threw all my shit in my car and expected things to go well because they didn't cover that part in Entourage. So I was on Craigslist looking for places to live, and Craigslist is an awesome place to find someone who will throw you a hand job for a ride to Albany, right? It's probably the best place for that, but it's not such a great place to find roommates, but I eventually found a couple of girls, and they were super mellow. They were USC students, so I signed the lease, I moved in, and as soon as I did, they said, "Welcome to South Central Los Angeles." And I said, "April Fools," and they said, "June 14th, you live here now." I'm from a place called Beaverton, Oregon. For those of you who don't know exactly what that means, Beaverton is where they manufacture white people. That's what happens there. And the only things I knew about South Central LA, I had learned from NWA lyrics, and they were never flattering. Eazy-E was never like, "Yeah, motherfucker, South Central's got the dopest parks and recreation department." Now here's MC Red. "Oh shit, it's Daffodil season. You ramp up in this bitch." No, it was all scary shit like, "Uh-oh, white boy, looks like your windbreaker's the wrong color." I don't know where they got a helicopter. Like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it is possible. So I was afraid, you guys, super white, and I thought they'd hate me because of it, so I had to come up with a plan. And my plan did not work at all, because I pretended to be Mexican. Yeah. Didn't work for a couple of reasons. I'm 6'3", 350, like I mentioned earlier. It would take 4 Mexican guys coming together like Voltron to make someone as big as me. The other reason is I speak high school Spanish. So that means I can say shit like, "Yo tengo pantalones azul." Or like, "Upside down question mark, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?" Regular question mark. I don't know what either of those things means anymore, so still afraid. I had to come up with a backup plan, and I'm not proud of it, but it worked perfectly because I pretended to be retarded. Yeah. Again, it worked for a couple of reasons. Well, really one main reason. That reason is I'm a really big, goofy-looking dude, and if you factor in the possibility of retard strength, I become terrifying. Terrifying. Like, you come up to fuck with me and be like, "Give me your wallet," and I'd be like, "Jelly beans!" I'd rip the door of a Kia, cut you in half with it, and then throw it into the sun. Walk away, a bunch of other retarded people cheer like Ewoks at the end of There were cool parts about living in South Central, like it was where a lot of my favorite rap comes from. I'm a big rap fan. I could go to Crenshaw Boulevard and be like, "Dre was right, this is rough." Like that kind of, I like it. Any hip hop fans in here at all? Anybody like rap? Yeah, all right, cool. You don't have to like rap to like this joke. You just have to know who Kanye West is. Yeah, she knows. That's good. Good job. I like Kanye West a lot. I like his music. I like who he is. I like him especially because he answers the hypothetical question: what if a gay, black, 17th century French aristocrat time traveled to the future? He makes a lot more sense if you think of him like that, guys. He makes me wish Cribs was still around really bad, because his Cribs would be awesome. If he came you through his house and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is my bathroom, and oh, that's a fish tank full of beluga whales." Yeah. I dressed them shits up like the 1975 Oakland Athletics and shit, yeah. That fish got a Raleigh Fingers mustache, so audacious, yeah. I'm finding with Kanye and like a lot of other artists, I like them more and more, not because of the music they make, but just because of who they are. Like Snoop Dogg, I don't even really like Snoop Dogg's music that much. I just like Snoop Dogg's persistence. Because if you listen to Snoop Dogg's first album, which came out like almost 20 years ago, all the songs are like, I like smoking weed, bow wow. And if you listen to his most recent album, which came out like 6 months ago, all the songs are like, guess what I still like doing? If you get smoking weed, proceed to the next track, bow wow. But neither one of those guys is my favorite. My favorite rapper is this guy named Lil Wayne. You guys know who Lil Wayne is? Yeah. For those of you who don't, Lil Wayne is that rapper who looks like if you got a gremlin drunk. That's him. He had that song a couple of summers ago that was like, Amélie, 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 Amélie. That song about the French movie Amélie, that was him. To understand why I like Lil Wayne so much, you have to understand two things about me. The first is I'm a coward. That's the first one. The second is I like nothing more than on a beautiful day, rolling down my windows and turning the music up and singing along or rapping along to it as loud as I can. And what I'm afraid of is I'll be listening to one of my favorite non-Lil Wayne rappers and I'll be rapping along to it like a blew the brains off the Chevy, call it suicide. It's a way of life, that's how us young niggas ride. And a black person will walk by and see me say that and not appreciate the context at all. And reach into the car and slap me in the face so hard that it like tears the time-space continuum wide open. And like while I'm getting slapped in the face in super slow motion, my consciousness is sucked through this tear into the body of a slave in like 1621. And I'll have to go through their entire miserable fucking life until they die. And my consciousness is shot back through this tear into my body, which is just now getting done being slapped in the face. So I'll be like, I will never say that word again. I'm only listening to Kenny Chesney until I die. Thank you. But that's not a problem with Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne is from outer space. So he exclusively raps about outer space shit, ladies and gentlemen. So here's an actual Lil Wayne line. He'll be like, Young Money run this, towns, countries, I still eat rappers, scrumptious. There is no one on earth who's going to lean into my open car window and be like, what the fuck you know about scrumptious, white boy? Ham Hock knows everything about scrumptious. Everything. By the way, your drinks are really scrumptious. Make sure you hit the bar and take the bartender. I came back from LA to finish college, and I did recently. I graduated from Portland State University. I shouldn't clap too much. I got a BS in political science, which is like getting a GED and $40,000 in debt at the same time. I got to school and they said you should pick a major based on what you enjoy. That's bullshit, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen. I was 17. All I enjoyed was Madden and sleeping until 1 in the afternoon and eating microwave quesadillas. That was it. So I picked the major to let me do that shit the most. That's not a good life plan, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. I didn't even get the worst of it though. I had friends who majored in philosophy. That should be against the law. That should be illegal. Unless they have a job waiting for you on the outside, right? Like, Belling's looking for someone to sit in a rock garden for 8 hours a day and contemplate man's relationship with death. You'd be perfect. So I'm in the job market in my town now and it's pretty fucking bleak. We've got more overeducated white kids in their 20s than a Wu-Tang Clan concert. I can't find a job in my neighborhood because my neighborhood is all coffee shops and lesbian bookstores. That's pretty much the whole thing. And apparently, people only want to buy coffee from skinny hipsters with shitty haircuts and even shittier attitudes. Woo! Yeah. Oh, we can woo that. That's fine with me. I like coffee. Thing is, I have a better shot at the lesbian bookstore because at least I have breasts and facial hair. It's my golden ticket. It got so bad, I went to apply to Target And I figured I was a shoo-in, because as far as I know, all you need to work at Target is a red t-shirt, because when I gave them my application, they had me take a 60-question personality test. 60 questions for Target. Target is Walmart for people who drive Subarus and donate to NPR. It should be one question. Have you given up hope? Yes, you're hired. Welcome to Target. But they don't. They ask you, they have this test, and they start you off with the easiest questions. They'll ask you questions where it's like, you consider yourself a hard worker. Agree or disagree? What the fuck is that question doing on that? Who's taking that test and is like, oh, man. Oh, I'm gonna go the honesty route. Click, oh. But that question is nothing compared to the ones at the end. But they're just trying to like deceive you. They're just fucking with you at the end of this one. They'll ask you questions where it's like, do you consider yourself more of a rapist or a liar? if you had to pick one. That question is fucked up, because if you want to work at Target, you have to pick rapist. Because if you pick liar, then you may have just lied about not being a rapist. There's no way for them to tell. All kinds of fucked up.